Guys, I can explain how the car ended up like this.
Without further ado, play my shit.
Whoa. What's up guys, T-Croc here. Welcome to the vlog. As you can see, the car is in pieces at the moment, and I'll tell you why. So, as in the last video where I was talking about the compression numbers where they were all within spec, but there was a couple numbers that were a little off. So let me explain something. So, the rear bank was reading 225 PSI. The front bank was reading about 180, 190. All three were within the same, and those were in the same. So, at first, I was thinking, I'm like, what the hell? Well, it's still within the spec, so everything is okay. When I was data logging the car last week, I was looking over the logs this week and doing some work, and I noticed that when I was looking at my timing was a little bit off. The timing that I actually had input in the car, it was like, and versus what it was reading off was really sporadic. So I decided to look at the timing marks. And lo and behold, I've had this issue before where one of the timing gears were off by a tooth. And what happens is the car will run perfectly normal, but you'll have this random misfire while cruising. And you'll think, oh, it's spark plugs or it just needs a tune up. And it's actually because that one tooth is throwing the car off. So I decided to look at the timing, and lo and behold, yep, it was off. So as you can see, let me grab a light, because I retimed the car and the compression numbers were 225 all around. So the motor's in really good healthy state. And I believe I did say in the previous video that I wouldn't boost the car, but actually after seeing those numbers, I would have no issues turboing this car. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do it right away, but it's just something that I know that I have a healthy motor. So as you can see, that timing mark right there is good. That timing mark is good. And let's go underneath. If you guys can see the little notch back there, that timing mark is good. I'll probably put a little arrow so you guys can tell if you guys have never done a timing belt. So now today is gonna be putting everything back together. I'm gonna try my best to record everything. Underneath the car is going to be kind of hard because of the lighting source, but I do have this light, so we'll see, and that's it. I'm going to put the car together, let it run. It's probably going to run a little bit better, but as I want to state, it was running perfectly normal. Like, when something's out of time, you can definitely tell, and I couldn't tell what this car was out of time. Only reason why I could definitely knew something was up was when my compression numbers were different and my data log numbers were different as well. So let's start putting this car back together and start it up and make it run, and we'll go on from there.
Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. Come on. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. Now allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me J.O. to the easy ear. Know that we undefeated. Y'all beneath the speeches trying to air a grievance, but his lines are overhead. Better check the air for clearance. Call the tower. This is our critic. He the air apparent. Really, I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever.
Timing gear is back on. I actually put the belt, power steering belt, and the drive belt on as well. If you guys didn't know, I think I've said it in numerous videos, that's my AC delete. It looks really close, but it doesn't rub at all. That is actually an idler pulley from a timing gear that actually gives you a little bit more space and clearance. If I did have, like, if I was rubbing or anything like that, they do make AC delete kits that adds an extra bracket and a wheel right here, so the belt would run right here and would provide more clearance. But that's a little bit more weight, and we're trying to save weight on this car, so this is why we run it this way.
alive. One more time, this is forever. Remember the legend, he never gonna die. Yeah. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Fucking dead and alive. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Dead and alive. Yeah. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Fucking dead and alive. Blah blah blah. Just making sure that you know why, because this is forever. And there will be no surrender. Got something to say to me, say, you know I've been waiting so patiently. This is my legacy, y'all don't believe me, it waits. Basically, I have been running things, you can just go on and take a seat. Now when they hated me, thinking I never think out of my level, you can be the enemy, this is the planet, we showing them anyway. Hit up the lawyers and give them the NDA rule. This is the brand new, this is the brand new. Nothing you can do, nothing you can't do. And there ain't no thing that you'll be taking from me, man. It came from nothing, made it something, name is buzzing, call me Ryan. Got some hate, gon' know that they gonna love me more when I'm gonna retire. From the kind of things that I'm gonna be feeling like a god, because this is forever. And there will be no surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Fucking dead and alive. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Dead and alive. Yeah. I ain't fucking dead and alive. Fucking dead and alive. Blah blah blah. Really, I never been better. Legacy, this is forever. Really, I never been better. Legacy, this is forever. Really, I never been better. The legacy live on forever. Yeah, remember.
All right, everything's bolted in. That mount actually went in pretty smooth. Since the mount was taken out, the motor kind of tilted. So I basically had to jack the car up, use another jack with some wood because the car sits a little bit lower, and then jack the motor up so I could bolt that in. I took it off, bolted it down, and when I started tightening, I noticed that the bolt wasn't all the way in, so I undid it and then torqued it down again. So everything's together. It went really smooth, which is kind of scary because usually it's something I get snagged up on something. So let me give the car a start and see how it sounds. So it actually sounds pretty good, and one of the good things about it, when I looked at the boost gauge, it's actually reading vacuum right now, and when I first started the motor way back when, it was only reading 17, and you should be like 21, between 21 and 22, so it was like negative 22. So the leak's taken care of. It's probably because it was out of time. I'm gonna let it warm up and then see how the air fuel ratio looks, and we'll go from there. So for shit and giggles, I had my scales at the shop before I take them home. I decided to put the car on the scales with the 3.0 motor instead of the 3.8. Now I know a lot of people said it's probably like a 50-pound difference, or I think someone else said 20-pound difference. They said it's not a big difference. So here is the weight. It's 2,700 pounds and 29 pounds. So I want to point out a few things about this. That is with a second seat, and I have an OEM battery. So the OEM battery is about 50 pounds or so, give or take. I'm gonna be going with a lightweight battery, which is gonna be 10 pounds. So if you minus that, I'll be under the 2,600 pound, which is what I wanted. Now the seat is just for ride-alongs and instructors. That's about a 15-pound difference. So the car is extremely lighter with the 3.0 than the 3.8 setup I had. And I'm gonna link, or maybe I'll throw up a picture of the previous weight. So I'll probably have a screenshot of this, and then I'm gonna throw up a picture of the previous weight, and that was with the 3.8, no second seat, and I had a 10-pound battery instead. So I actually am in with the weight that I want to be. So I'm pretty happy about that. So that's it, guys. Like I said, timing's fixed. I think what happened was either when I set the tensioner, the rear sprocket likes to move when you set it. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then when I rotated again to see if the marks were good, I probably wasn't looking at it dead on, and I was probably looking on an angle, and I was like, oh yeah, it looks good. So that's probably what happened with that, and that's why the timing was off. Luckily, nothing was damaged on the car, so that I'm counting the car gods for that one. So what I've been doing off camera is making a list of what I need and what I want. What I need is the stuff that's preventing me from going on track, and what I want are just little things that would be nice to have upgrades and stuff like that. So I'm working on the need list as right now. So once I get that need list done, I'm going to take the car to my friend Justin or another shop and have them do a quick inspection of the car. Just basically, like if I was about to go on track, they're gonna do a tech inspection for me. So they can say, hey, this is wrong or now it's wrong. Another thing I need to do is, because I'm probably gonna be doing some autocrossing as well for shakedown and seat time, I need to contact them because HPDE and autocrossing have a different set of rules. For example, like my seat belts are good for HPDE, but sometimes in autocross they look at the expiration dates on them and they'll say you can't autocross with those, even though you're going parking lot speed around cones. But safety first, you know. So I have to contact the regional guy and make sure I clarify those rules with him and make sure that is good to go before I actually do that. And also the seat's expired as well, so I need to clarify that. Seat and harnesses, and also I have to buy a new helmet as well because my helmet's expired. It expired last year. So that is it, guys. As the mods come through and whatever I do with the car, I'll make a video for it if I have time. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.